on YouTube. Today I'm back with another video and I'm just going to be clearing some things up on wholesaling. Before we get into it, please hit that like and subscribe button to get me into the algorithm, and then that way more people can use these videos to learn. Anyway, so I'm going to talk about the two most important things, in my opinion, when starting wholesaling. The two most important things are connecting yourself with a bunch of sellers and a bunch of buyers. Okay, a couple ways to do this are you can find a lot of buyers on Facebook groups, and just go to your local Facebook groups, real estate Facebook groups, and just get on there, start talking to people, let them know that you're going to be trying to wholesale. You can build up your buyers list and also build relationships at the same time. You can also go to meetups if those are a thing right now in your city. So those are also great ways to find buyers. How to find sellers? A couple great ways to find the seller is actually just walking around with a stack of flyers and dropping them off in people's mailbox. You can also knock on their door, and if you don't want to be so direct and say, hey, are you selling your house? Like, what do you got, right? You can say something along the lines of, hey, I'm an investor in the area, and I was just wondering if you happen to know anybody selling in this area. You know, any of your neighbors? Have you heard anything like that? This is not so direct, and it's pretty, it's pretty just general, like, hey, do you happen to know anybody? Sometimes people will say, yeah, you know what, I'm actually thinking about selling, come and check this property out, okay? Another great way to find sellers is actually the same way you find buyers. Just just be networking with investors and building relationships with them, because when they need to sell a property and they don't want to put it on the market, they don't want to deal with anything like this, they'll come to you and they'll actually ask, hey, can you put this property by your buyers list? Sometimes they just don't want to take on the project anymore, and they close on it. For example, some people might close on it, okay? And then they might realize, I have so many properties on the go, I wonder if I can sell this one quick for a little bit of profit. They'll reach out to you, and they'll also reach out to you when the project is done. I've sold a deal that was one of my partners. He had a deal, he renovated it, and you know what? I just looked for an end user. I said, let me see what I can do. And I put it out through my buyers list. I actually got connected with a realtor, and she found a buyer when we both made money on the deal. So that's when having a relationship with a realtor can be also a really great thing, because they can help you sell deals exclusively off market, right, to people who are looking on market, kind of thing, if that makes sense. Okay. So what happens once you find a seller? When you find a seller, you're going to want to build a relationship with them, get all the information on the house, run comparables, all things like that, okay? Once you do all that and it's time to make an offer, you want to make a conditional offer. A conditional offer is when you make an offer on a property and you ask for a certain amount of days to do due diligence and, get an inspector and whatever you got to do. In our case, it's wholesale it, but don't say that. Don't tell the buyer, or don't tell the seller that you're going to sell it to another buyer, because they're just going to wonder, like, what's going on here. It's very unclear and it's very hard to explain. So how you have to play it is, me and my partners are looking to buy a property. I just need to do a due diligence period and get one of my multiple money partners on board, because I'm the active partner in these deals, okay? I have a video on how to make a conditional offer on wholesaling. I'll leave a link in the description below for that. Okay, so once you get a conditional offer out there and they accept it, let's say best case scenario, they accept it. Sometimes your offers are going to get denied, but the more offers, the more deals. Anyway, they accept your conditional offer. You're going to need to assign the deal to a buyer, all right? So there's paperwork for that as well. It's called an assignment agreement. I'm sure you can find it online or something like that. Anyway, you're going to want to assign the deal to them, to one of your buyers. Okay, so let's say you got a duplex and whatever, it's 500K, you lock it down, and let's say it's really worth 530 or 5 to 550 on market. Like, you're going to know this based off your comparables. You're going to tell your buyers that you have a property that's like 30,000 under market value. You put on a 10K fee, whatever. So you get it for 500. You market it out at 510, for example, And then once you find a buyer, right, you assign it with an assignment agreement. From there, once it's all assigned and everything's firmed up, so once you assign the deal, you have to waive conditions with the seller, okay? And there's paperwork for that as well. So it's just waiving the conditions, and then the deal's firm. Like, you can't back out of it now. But make sure you assign the deal before you waive conditions, or you're going to be the one buying it, and that's, you know, that can be tough. Anyway, sorry about that. Had to delete some storage on my phone. Anyway, once you waive the conditions, you want to make sure you send all the paperwork to your lawyer. So I recommend you go and get a real estate lawyer. Okay, just call around, call a couple, talk to them, let them know you're going to be wholesaling some properties, and that's it. It's as simple as that. Okay, once you have a lawyer, make sure you send them everything: the original purchase and sale agreement, the assignment agreement, and also the waiver, okay, to waive the conditions. Any amendments as well. So if there's been any changes in the conditions, or, you know, anything like this. So let's say, for example, what you need an amendment for is, let's say, closing 60 days, and you guys agree, everybody agrees to close in 30 days instead, then you're going to need an amendment. So if you get that, send it to the lawyer. Send everything to the lawyer. They'll go over everything, and they'll also make sure you have all the right conditions on your assignment agreement, which you need. So definitely reach out to a lawyer for the closing process. Okay, so you get paid on closing. So take into consideration that if you assign a deal next week, you're not going to get paid for at least 30 days, sometimes 60, sometimes 90, usually 30 to 60 days, especially in this market. Okay, just be aware that you're not going to get paid for 30 days. So don't be in a rush and be asking your buyers for money. Okay, like, whatever. It just looks bad. As far as the deposit goes, make the person you assign it to put down half the amount to your lawyer, and the lawyer will hold the deposit. So let's say your wholesale let's say your wholesale fee is $10,000 actually. Okay, you can tell the buyer, I want a $10,000 deposit. That's going to go to your lawyer. Okay, once it all goes firm, they can't really get that deposit back. Yeah, so if they close it, great, you're gonna get this. If not, you're never gonna get this. Anyway, make sure a person you assign the deal to sends a deposit to your lawyer. Okay, they'll hold it, they'll make sure that everything goes good, and they'll make sure the deal goes smoothly, and it's done on closing day. You don't have to do anything until closing day, and that's when you just wait for the check, wait for that money. Anyway, that's pretty much some tips on wholesaling, and basically just explaining like how the inside structure works. So you want to if you're just starting out, start finding buyers on Facebook. Okay, so find buyers on Facebook and start finding sellers. If you don't got money, just drive around and drop off flyers to people and go door knocking. This will work. It's worked for me, and I know it can work for you. Okay, once you find a seller, build a relationship, get all the information, get comparables on that property, reach out to a realtor for this. Once you know everything's good, make an offer. Make them an offer that they can't refuse. Make them an offer, and yeah, once it gets accepted, go ahead and assign that deal. Assign that deal. Send all the paperwork to the lawyer. Once the lawyer has all the paperwork, he or she's gonna make everything go smoothly, and then you'll get paid 30 to 60 days from then. Okay, that's pretty much it. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments, and I'll be sure to clear them up. Let me know what kind of videos you want to see and what's gonna help you get wholesale deals here in Canada. Okay, that's it, everybody. So hope you enjoyed this video. Hit that like and subscribe, and see you on the next one.